They're about exactly the same color. Holy.
It's actually uncanny. I have to say the Wake and Bake
The head
has
is darker.
a little darker head on it.
Absolutely.
You know, it's more of a brown, a light brown, where the breakfast stout I feel is more of a khaki color.
Other than that, they're nearly identical.
Yeah. They looked identical coming out of the bottle. They look very similar in the glass. Like you said, the only difference is the head is a little darker on the terrapin. Alright, what's going on, guys? This is Maury,
Pat,
And Dave from the Erie Better Beer Bureau. Today, we got a great one. This is a versus here. We got Terrapin Wake and Bake versus Founder's Breakfast Stout.
legally referred to as Terrapin WNB,
Correct. We don't want any lawsuits on our
but
hands.
commonly referred to in the beer community as Wake
Wake and Bake, right. You know, the reason why we chose these two, they're both chocolate coffee imperial stouts.
and Oatmeal.
You're correct. And they're real close in alcohol percentage. The Founder's Breakfast Stout runs in at a 8.3, and the Wake and Bake runs in at 8.1. So,
Very close.
real close, yeah.
We're gonna do a little side-by-side here. So, let's get the aroma on the Wake and Bake.
Absolutely.
Real solid coffee on
Yeah,
this
the
one.
coffee is in your face.
It almost doesn't smell like beer.
Yeah.
All I get is coffee.
I'm getting a touch of
Fresh
chocolate. Yeah, the first time around I got all coffee. On my second smell, I got a little bit of chocolate.
Real mild, like chocolate.
Yeah, like a really dark
Yeah.
chocolate.
And this isn't any coffee. I feel this is like a fresh ground, like espresso
It's a local,
roast.
it's a local coffee to Terrapin.
Yeah, and I'm going to check the bottle here. I believe Terrapin, let's see here. Yeah, it's Jittery Joe's from Athens, or to Athens, Georgia. Not just regular old Athens. To Athens, Georgia.
All right, what do you say? The aroma on the FBS here?
Yes.
A little bit lower. Are you okay?
Well, I feel like I've smelled a very similar beer.
Very similar,
The
it
coffee
is.
is a little less in your face, maybe
Yeah.
on this one.
It is, for sure, a little less in your face. I get actually a little more dark chocolate aroma.
There's actually more of a sweeter aroma to
Yeah,
this one.
right.
It's,
Maybe a little bit more roasty, too.
Yeah,
yeah, kind of a
that's it.
smokier, darker.
I
roast.
still think coffee is the dominant aroma in this, though.
in both of them.
But I think the Terrapin was a little bit more in your face.
Absolutely.
So let's taste the Wake and Bake. Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
There's the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not hiding it at all.
No.
Absolutely.
It follows the nose with this
Yeah.
one.
I almost feel like I should be like feeling coffee grounds
Right.
whenever I'm drinking this beer.
It is super heavy on the coffee.
I got the dark chocolate on
I
my
do.
second sip,
Yeah,
especially.
absolutely.
On the first sip, again, it's like coffee dominated, but on the second sip, I got a little bit of chocolate in there as well.
It's still it's overwhelmingly coffee though.
It is.
Mhm.
It's overwhelmingly coffee, but there are subtle notes of dark chocolate, oatmeal.
Yeah, I
You know,
mean,
I'm getting a roasty flavor in there from some
Definitely
roasted
roasty.
malts. You know, and it's hard to determine if it's the roasty, like the coffee beans are roasty, or roasted malts. I think those two flavors are kind of blending right together.
I agree. The breakfast stout. Cheers.
Definitely way more balanced in the taste. on
I
this one.
agree with that. It's not as coffee heavy as the Terrapin.
You get a very nice, like a very pleasant blend of the coffee and the dark chocolate flavor.
Yeah, I want to say the mouthfeels are slightly similar,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to give the edge to the Wake and Bake. I think it's a little creamier of a mouthfeel.
The Wake and Bake is definitely thicker mouthfeel
Right.
than the Founders.
But the Founder's Breakfast Stout, I feel it's a little more balanced.
It definitely is more balanced. The coffee's there, but it's not quite as in your face as the Terrapin. And, you know, I've had both these beers before, but I've never had them this close together. I've had them
No.
a couple days apart, but I've never had them a couple seconds apart.
All right, so for the scores, I'm gonna go with the Terrapin. I'm gonna give this one a 4.5. The breakfast stout, I'm gonna give a 4.25. I just really like that overwhelming, just over the top coffee flavor. I love it, and I like that it has some subtle notes of some dark chocolate. You know what really put it over the top for me personally with the Terrapin is the mouthfeel. I felt it had a little thicker mouthfeel, and both of them are great beers. But yeah, Terrapin 4.5, Breakfast Stout 4.25. In the versus round, I'm gonna say the Terrapin wins. Pat, what do you think?
All right, for the Terrapin Wake and Bake, I'm gonna have to go with a 4 out of 5. It's a great beer. I love the bold flavors in it. I would like a little more balance out of it. The coffee flavor is pretty overwhelming in this beer. If you find this beer, you better like coffee stouts because it's gonna be all coffee up front all the time. For the Founder's Breakfast Stout, I'm gonna give that one 4.25 out of 5. I love the balance of this beer. You get the coffee flavor, but it's also balanced by this nice chocolate and dark malt flavor at the same time. The mouthfeel is not quite as filling as the Terrapin, but I think this is just a better balanced beer. And given the choice, sipping the two, over the course of the evening, I'd probably stick with the Founders. So 4.25 on the Founders, 4 for the Terrapin.
All right, I'm gonna go 4 on the Founder's Breakfast Stout. I do think it's a more balanced beer. After tasting them this close together, it just is. But for me, the Terrapin is a notch above. I'm gonna go 4.25. To me, it's all about the mouthfeel. The coffee is a little bit more bold in this one. I don't think it's too over the top though, but hey, I love coffee. The mouthfeel to me is the deciding factor in these two beers, and the Terrapin definitely wins out. So, until next time, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. You can't keep the beer in the damn glass, bro. You spilled on the aroma.
It's amazing you drink it.
Yeah.
Take points off for whatever I say.
You switch lever.